I make the last question, then I leave the to others the questions. We have never seen so different narratives. If I look at Al Jazeera or The Intercept or other media like that, it seems to live in another world, despite what we read or see in our newspapers. What can we, and also the languages, for example, as also you have said, if I'm not wrong, that Palestinian children have died. Then we have this double standard to speak of Israeli children with a very emotional language and so on. Can we do something to about this, or?
Sure. If I were Italian, I would stop reading the absolute majority of the trash newspapers that you call media, because they're trash. They're not media. Most of what you call newspapers in Italy are truly trash by any professional standard. The BBC has completely lost any sense of professionalism, as hundreds within the BBC are now exposing. The New York Times has completely lost any sense of professionalism. It became genocidal, spreading rumors, spreading Israeli propaganda that has been proven wrong, yet they never retracted, they never corrected the horrible mistakes that they did that enabled, in a way, the genocide. So I think the young generation in Italy, in the US, in Britain, everywhere, realize that their mainstream media is largely trash. It's a corporate media that lies and lies and lies to sell, to militarize, to securitize society. It's not concerned about the truth, let alone justice, let alone freedom. It's concerned about selling, about corporate advertisements, about the big military companies, and so on. The young generation looks at Gaza and says, this is not just destroying Palestinian lives, tens and tens of thousands of Palestinian lives. This is destroying the very foundations of international law that we grew up with since World War II. They're destroying it. Israel, supported by the US and Europe, is destroying international law. What kind of future will we live in? What kind of future will our children live in? If we enter this might makes right era, where the most powerful decide everything. So tomorrow Russia can invade Italy. Why not? It's much more powerful. If it's done with Ukraine, why not invade Italy? Italy is much, much weaker than Russia. What to prevent it? If we cannot maintain some international law that applies consistently to everyone, then we're all lost. The 99% of humanity will be lost. And young people get it, and they see the media as terribly complicit. One senior UN human rights official who now retired from the UN, Greg Mukhaibar, said the media that enabled Israel's genocide should face a Nuremberg-style trial for their complicity in genocide, because knowingly publishing lies that incite, that enable genocide is a crime under international law. The absolute majority of Italian media, I wouldn't call it media because it's trash, but the absolute majority should face a Nuremberg-style trial for inciting to genocide, for dehumanizing Palestinian, for being so disgustingly racist and colonial.
In history, we have cases of media personality, for example, Rwanda genocide. During the Rwanda genocide, some of them were condemned for instigation to genocide.
Yes, one of the radio stations, absolutely, yes. But that's Africans. It's easy to condemn it, because as one American senator said, we created the ICC for those people, not for us, not for white people, not for Europe and the US. It's for Africans and Latin Americans and Arabs and Muslims. It's not for us Europeans. He was so honest when he said that, a leader in the Republican Party in the Senate. I guess he was being too frank about it.